Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Bill Warner with Entradot, and this is live with Entradot. Last Friday, I did a video on sales calls. It was rather long. It's a takeoff on what I did well over a year ago on the first sales call. So I modeled it after that. And yesterday I published one on trust because I think trust goes along with this process of having effective sales calls and effective sales relationships. So this is kind of a discussion of the last two videos in the series of winning through excellence in sales. So if you have a mind to, please subscribe to our Entradot YouTube channel. It goes by that name. And you can look up these playlists, including these. There are 39 or so others on lots of different subjects like management, leadership, marketing, how to start a company, how to finance a company, and the list goes on of many, many more that have accumulated over the years. But this is the most recent one. So I urge you to subscribe and give me your comments. I love to read them, and I'll respond to every one of them. So I'd like to know what you think about this subject of trusting. That's what we're going to work on in this live broadcast. You know, all relationships are founded in trust. And I put it here in this series for this reason, that what really a salesperson is doing, particularly from the very beginning, the first sales call, is starting to build trust with the potential customer. So I start with sales, but quite frankly, trust pervades everything you do. I'll get to that in a minute. But when you're meeting with a potential customer, particularly for the first time, you do many things to get to know the person. You don't spend the whole sales meeting on it, of course, but you certainly spend several minutes on getting to know each other. And you do some homework before you show up to kind of research the person, the principal that you're going to be talking to, because you want to start the ball off rolling by getting to know each other and be prepared to share a little bit about yourself as well. Start to build trust then. And as you go along over time, in the relationship you have with this principal and every single other principal of companies you're selling to, you're going to build that trust. Meeting after meeting, instance after instance, delivery after delivery, such that after a while, and hopefully not too long a time, this person trusts you. So you're trusting them and you're being trustworthy in this relationship. You go out of your way to make sure that things are delivered as you committed. Anything that you've provided them, you follow up on, make sure they're pleased with it, they're happy with it, that there are no issues. You manage a relationship, a trusting relationship, and it takes action on your part. Now, if your customer is kind of the same kind of person, has the same kind of mindset that I'm suggesting, he or she will do that with you as well. So you want this relationship, like if there's any issue, this person calls you because this person trusts you, and he or she knows that you will talk honestly with them. So you have straight talk, you listen very well. You don't act until you're clear on what he or she is talking about, and you resolve the issue. And you do that time after time after time. So this relationship you have with your customers is the central point that I'm making in that sales call video, and is underlying the video I did yesterday on trust. So think about building trust with your customers. Now, as I mentioned, it's one day I'll get used to how to use this. I'm going backwards. We're going to go on to team. Hey, I don't have a producer like other videographers have, somebody handling all these overlays. It's me. So I got to go click over here the right thing, and I just did it wrong. Sorry about that. But anyway, as I said, being building trust also applies with your team, teams of employees, business partners, anyone that you know that provides you referrals. All of these business relationships, all of what I'm talking about in yesterday's video on trust applies. So I started Friday with trust in the context of sales, but on Monday I broadened it to trust in the entire team you're working on. The teams that you put together for projects or departments that have certain missions, what makes them successful is trust in each other, which you're going to help foster by being trustworthy yourself. So any team you lead or any teams that are put together under your management and leadership, you want to help instill trust amongst them as well. Teams of people that trust one another are very powerful. They know each other, they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, they know their tendencies. They can read their body language, they know how they think about certain subjects. So communications amongst a trusting team is very efficient. And that translates into getting the job done very efficiently with high quality, on time, and no baloney about where they're at with it. So make sure that if you're running a company or you're running a major division within a company or even a department within a company, that you're building teamwork amongst the people that report to you and teamwork with all those people outside the company that you work with. Now there's some special kinds of people that you could be working with outside your company. And this is mainly for the chief executive of the company and maybe the other C-level officers of your company. But for you, it's advisable that you get advisors. Because guess what? You want impartial people giving you advice. Any advice you get from people you know, you want to listen to, of course, but you want to apply a little grain of salt to what you're hearing from them because they have a special relationship with you. They're not impartial. You want people advising you that don't have a horse in your race. They're not invested in your company. They're not a subcontractor. They're not a relative. You want advisors that come from various parts of the industry that you need to know more about, and relationships with other companies that you would like to have that they may be able to introduce you to. But these advisors are impartial people. And you want to make sure that you have a team of them. I'm thinking 3 to 5, depending on how many different perspectives of things you need to have, but have the right people that can give you timely advice. And you build trust with them. Some of them you know well already, and trust may already exist, but you continue to nurture it. For those that you don't know so well, an advisor was referred, say, by your board of directors, or a customer even, because mutual referrals also occur when you have trusted relationships, back to the customer point I made earlier. Now, the board of directors are not advisors. The board of directors is a governing body of your company, and they play a special role in representing the shareholders of the company. So don't confuse advisors with, because it's sometimes called an advisory board or abbreviated board. Make sure that the people who are talking to you don't mean board of directors. They're not advisors. They have a vested interest in the success of this company on behalf of the shareholders, and they want to see things done a certain way. So that's a group of people that you share your plans with and your status and issues that are being handled and certain things that they approve by virtue of your bylaws or operating agreement. So don't confuse board of directors and advisors. Another constituency is investors. These are people who have invested in your company, money. They bought shares of your company. But they're going to be with you a long time. You need to build trust with them. So you keep them informed. Some of them may have representation on your board, but perhaps not all. But you want to make sure that you're communicating and listening to their questions and concerns, and you're, in so doing, building trust with a group of people that took the time to learn a lot about your company and took the risk to invest in it. So you want to keep them informed as well. So there you have it. That's the words I have to say in summary of the two videos I did, one on Friday and one yesterday. But the bottom line, trust, build trust, and be trustworthy. If you do that, you're going to be very successful. And with that trustworthiness on your part, you should have a good day.